What's up, YouTube? Dr. Kemp here. Here I am, and I'm out here today for the past 3 hours. Been grilling or smoking some meat, and there's of course my charcoals there. Got my hickory wood there. Got some hickory smoked beans. Got some hamburger back here that I've been smoking. Here are my St. Louis ribs. These ribs have been on now for 2 hours. And here's some steak that I'm smoking. I already smoked the steak, and the steak is ready. Just covering it up right now. This is ready. That's hamburger or ground beef. And now I'm getting ready to like I said, it's been on for 2 hours. So now what I have to do is get my apple juice, and I'm going to spray some apple juice on the ribs, and then put them in foil paper and stick them back on the grill for another hour. Now, my recipe for doing smoked ribs is what I did. I got the ribs, of course. You wanna wash them off, make sure they're clean. Then I cut off the sinew. That's that white connective tissue that's on the ribs. Want to make sure you cut off as much of the sinew as possible. It's connected to muscle. So you want to cut that stuff off. Once I cut off the sinew, I had some dried onions in the bottle. Just a little. You can get the bottled onions. They call it minced onions. I used about 3 tablespoons of the minced onions. I had a bottle of the dried garlic. I took 3 tablespoons of that, mixed them together, about a tablespoon of salt, put that in there, all in 1 cup, and then I used 16 ounces of water, a bottle of water, and I let that water soak into the minced onions and the garlic, so it could draw that the taste out of that, and then I smashed them up in the bottle, stirred it up, and then I strained the water into another cup, and once I strained it into a cup, I then took my ribs and put that in a plastic bag, Ziploc plastic bag, a large Ziploc plastic bag, and then I poured this 16 ounces of mix into that bag, and I let that sit for an hour. So that was marinade. So I let it marinate in that mixture for an hour. After it marinated for an hour, and I turned it over and so forth. After about 30 minutes, make sure that all the meat got good and marinated. And then once that was done, then I made up a mustard rub. I took about 3 tablespoons of mustard, put that in a cup. I put a tablespoon of sugar on top of that, mixed that together, and that became the base for my rub. And I rubbed that, I brushed that mustard rub onto both sides. Well, first I pulled the ribs out of the bag, and then I dried the ribs off, dried them off with paper towel. Once I dried them off, then I took the mustard, and I have a brush, and I brushed the mustard mix on both sides of the ribs. And then once I did that, then I sprinkled my rub onto the ribs, both sides of the ribs, and you turn it up and you can get the ends as well, because you want to get the ends. and rub and the rub that I use, it's steak rub. You know, steak in the little bottle. So I just get a steak rub that I bought at the store at Walmart. It's a good steak rub, you know, like a McCormick steak rub, and I sprinkled that on there and spread it out with my hand all over the meat. And then I came out and I showed you what it looks like in terms of the charcoal, and of course I soaked my hickory wood for about 30 minutes. I soaked my hickory wood for 30 minutes, and then I put the hickory wood in the pan, and I put my charcoals underneath, as you can see, as I showed you here. I'll show you again. See, so the charcoals are underneath. Got the hickory wood right here, and that was soaked. I took that out of the water and put them in this pan, and I put some beans here. And this is what it's looking like so far, and still smoking right now. So, and that's where we are. This is, it is already, the meat has already smoked for 2 hours. So what I'm getting ready to do is spray my applesauce, not applesauce, but apple juice applesauce. I'm gonna spray my apple juice on the meat. I'm kind of rushing because I want to get to it. But spray my apple juice onto the meat, and then I'm gonna cover the meat with my aluminum foil and put it back into the grill again and let it sit for another hour, and it should be ready. I'll check it after another hour, and it should be ready. If it's not falling off the bone, I've already tasted it, and it tastes good. But I need to let it do some more cooking, and I'll cook it until it's done. That's it. So that's my approach to smoking and cooking ribs on the grill. This is Dr. Kemp saying to you, because I like to tell my sons I am the master chef as well. But I'm saying to you, have a blessed day. Goodbye.